Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this pick a pile reading, which I'm calling March Manifestation. This reading is going to be focused on what's coming up in March for you for the remainder of the month and what it is that you might be focused on manifesting. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the website is linked in the description box. We do have 3 piles to choose from. The first one is going to be the elephant. The second one is going to be the owl, and the third one is going to be these 2 cats. I will leave the timestamps in the description box below. If you need a moment to pause the video to listen to your intuition in order to decide what pile to choose from, you can go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. Okay, pile 1. This is for those of you that chose the elephant. Let's see what's coming up in the month of March for the remainder. We have Castaway Negativity, the Sacred Pool, the Oracle, Sacred Living, Spirit Speaking, and Intervention. The Merkaba activation, Transcendence, Ascension, you are rising up. Moon cycles, Archangel Haniel. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. Now, for the remainder of the month, we do have that new moon in Pisces that's coming up on the 18th. I will have a reading up on the channel for that. But we also had the full moon eclipse, which I also did a reading on. That was on the 3rd. You can watch those videos if you're interested. What else? We have compassion, surrender, resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. The cave, protection. Yeah, the messages are pretty clear here for you. And then the last one is peaceful resolutions, which I love. That's more of a yes, if anything. If you had a question about what might transpire and what might manifest this month, there's definitely a yes energy there. I will live pull the tarot together once we are done reading these cards. So, for the month of March, or what's left of it, you're definitely healing relationships through forgiveness and compassion. Okay? The intervention energy that's coming up a couple of times, I feel like it's more like you intervening and influencing, not maybe more than just one relationship, but at least people that you have love for, people that you have care for, that you are hoping to resolve the relationships, you're hoping to fix, mend, and heal in order to move on. And there's definitely the energy of you moving on from something, you transcending, you rising above. And if it's the Merkaba activation, then you are having that union energy, the sacred marriage within, the Hyros Gamos. So you're incorporating both feminine and masculine energies in order to heal this relationship. You're cutting off a lot of stuff for the rest of the month. You're cutting out negativity, toxicity, anything unhealthy. So it's funny because this is about what you're manifesting next, which we usually think of, okay, well, what are we bringing in? But for you, it's more about, well, what are you letting go of? What are you leaving behind? What are you surrendering? You're not holding those grudges anymore. You're not holding resentments. You're not holding anything that will make you feel like you hate someone or you can't forgive someone or you can't let go of what they did wrong to you. Any wrongful convictions or anything like that. You're kind of like just letting it go. Like, okay, well, that wasn't really my fault, and you want to blame me for it. That's fine. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. You are going into hermit mode. You are going within yourself. There's a lot of contemplation, hermit energy, being alone, standing alone, going within to find answers, to find the inner oracle, the sacred pool, the oracle, the cave. These are all, a Merkaba even, activation. These are all telling me that you're kind of getting on that next level of ascension by looking at deeper parts of yourselves. That's funny because I said yourselves as if you were plural. So that's making me wonder if you're looking at all versions of yourself and trying to heal all those versions of yourself, past, present, and future. And there's definitely the energy of you just wanting to shield your energy and protect your energy so that you don't fall victim to any more wrongdoings. Okay, that's really what I'm picking up on. So you're healing that victim archetype, and we all have those 4 basic survival archetypes, right? The victim, the prostitute, the saboteur, and the child. And for you, you're healing that victim archetype. You're giving that victim archetype within some compassion, some kindness, some forgiveness, so that you can then translate that and give it outside of yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? So in order to resolve anything, in order to fix anything, especially with relationships in your life, you're accepting peace inside of yourself. And this, I think this resentment is not only like other people. I think it's just you not feeling guilty, you not feeling ashamed, you not feeling like you did something wrong anymore, so that you can let go. So it is very much the inner world, outer world manifestation that's going on for you for the rest of the month. So you will start to see things outside of yourself. You will start to realize, because if you're accepting peace within, then you will start to realize that life is going to get easier, right? You're going to start to have that mirror reflect into your outside world, and you will see that, you know what, maybe you're going to have less arguments, less fights, less friction, less tension in your relationships. Maybe it's going to feel lighter. It's going to feel like you're freer, like you're more liberated, because you're accepting peace. And I don't think it's only peace. For me, I feel like this sense of gratitude that's also coming up in your reading. And the gratitude is more like just being grateful for the simple things in life, the peaceful things in life. It's very Taurian in nature. I don't know if you are a Taurus, if you have South Node in Taurus or North Node in Taurus, but there's definitely this Taurus vibe of just wanting to be within the body, wanting to be within the moment, and accepting simplicity rather than complexity. So yeah, okay, so we can let that go. But you have to also really pay attention, because there's a lot also on the table about you accessing messages, guidance, and so on and so forth from spirit. Now, you are becoming the oracle for the rest of the month, but I think just in general, you are the oracle, okay? Whether you read cards or astrology, or you use any form of divination, or you just naturally know things, you have a strong intuition, there's definitely the energy there of using that part of you, that sacred part of you, in order to help guide you through the rest of the manifestations that you're dealing with for the month. And cycles, my guides are bringing me back to that. The cycles, it's not just like, oh, look at the moon cycles, but look at that, the cycles right there. But just the cycles in life, right? What naturally flows in a rhythm. Don't ignore the rhythms, the patterns, the cycles. Make sure that you are honoring them, and make sure that you are not ignoring them, okay? The devil is on the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to put that on top of peaceful resolution, because I feel like even though he's here through forgiveness, compassion, kindness, and peaceful resolution, you will be able to clear that out. I changed my mind. I'm going to put him over here. It's not that he's, here as what you might be manifesting. He's here because you're casting away this energy, this negative energy. And look at that. The literally the page of forgiveness is here. So again, forgiveness, kindness, and compassion is what you're manifesting through communication, because look at this 8 of Wands. And then underneath that is a 4 of Wands. So it's making me wonder with the 10 of Pentacles there, if it's got to do with a family member or a close loved one, maybe a spouse, or someone that you consider a spouse. But it's definitely someone close to you, just kind of healing, mending, fixing, again with the Star card there. Trying to weigh out options. And I'm also getting with this 2 of Pentacles, not balancing out the action of compromise, right? Because you can compromise in order to fix a relationship, in order to heal a relationship, but there's only so much compromise that you can do, because then you start to sacrifice too much of the self. So I feel like you're manifesting the proper cycle, the proper rhythm, the natural way of compromise, rather than over-compromising and then losing parts of yourself. So you're definitely manifesting a lot of things. As far as destiny goes, that's 2 cards for me that talks about what the stars have in store for you. Now, I'm a big believer of both balancing free will and destiny, right? So for me, when I say destiny, I mean literally everything is destined. Technically, everything is destined that we see, but it's about what we use our free will for, right? And how we use that free will in order to work through the destined cycle. So healing a big cycle, completing a big cycle is what I'm seeing here karmically. But I'm also seeing you manifesting something big as far as finances, or something physical in your physical environment, maybe your house, your car, your job, stuff like that. Okay, maybe health, even if you're looking for that. If it's got to do with health, I would definitely say to watch what happens in repetition. Right, you can get an answer there. Watch what happens in cycles. Like a simple thing would be like, okay, well, every time you eat Brussels sprouts, you get terrible gas pain, right? So maybe there's something there, right? That could be something gastro related. Obviously, seek medical professional advice if you need help there. But that's an example of what I'm talking about when I say cycle, because what's the cause and effect, right, of what you're dealing with? Now, that's not only physically, that's also metaphorically and spiritually, emotionally, mentally. What are the cause and effect, scenarios that is going on in your life? And how can you better be in the moment to fix it? The star being here is also telling me that there's that, speaking of balance, balancing things out, what you're really balancing is the reality and practicality with the spiritual and the ethereal. You clearly are manifesting. And I think that you are living more sacredly. So you're living in a more solid foundation that says, I'm here for spirit. I'm here for my ascension. I'm here for my spiritual journey first, before anything else, right? And that's what really gives us power in our life, is knowing that we are going to take manifestation in a serious way, but also in a way that's very light. So incorporating more perspectives, opinions, and ideas that say, I'm here for spirit first, the spirit within, the Hieros Gamos, my higher self, yada, 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 then that will allow you to manifest things outside of yourself. Again, for you, the rest of the month is the balance of inner world and outer world. Okay? So, again, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the website is linked in the description box. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Okay, pile number 2, you chose the Owl. Let's see what the cards have in store for you for the rest of the month. We have Willpower. Wow, that was a very strong card to flip there. For a moment, I felt, I don't want to say fear or intimidation, but I felt the power. This isn't, I know that this says willpower, and obviously you're using your willpower, but I'm just getting power. Like you dominating your space, you owning your space. Oof. Okay, ride the wave. The Temple of Dreams, Sacred Dreams, Prophecies, and Dream Journeys. Venusian Galactic Council, interesting. Star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Spiritual understanding, I'm Raziel. I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand your spiritual truths. Love partnership, well, okay, you got Venus, and all right, we got a lot to talk about, pile 2. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. I'm getting heavy Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Passion, the soul. Okay. And yes, a big yes. So if you're trying to manifest something for the rest of the month, it's a huge yes. Not just a regular yes, but Spirit's being like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Let's get it going. Wow. I have so much to say. I have so much to say, and I don't even know where to begin. So this powerful attraction, passion, you're manifesting this dream or this passion of yours. That's number 1. Number 2, there is possible a love partnership, romantic relationship, where there is attraction, passion, and power. Thirdly, I want to say, as soon as I saw the love partnership card and then I looked at Venus, I'm getting like okay, so in astrology, there's always that Venus and Mars chase, right? Aries, the god of Aries and the goddess of Aphrodite kind of doing this love dance, this love chase. And I'm getting that. And it's not, I mean, we're going to see what the tarot has to say. It doesn't feel negative, especially with the yes card here. Yeah, there's a lot I need to tell you. Okay, I'm getting like a wave of information, which is funny. I'm getting like I'm flooded with information. I feel like you are too, especially with this deck. This card from this deck tells me that you are, you might literally have prophetic dreams, or you have prophetic feelings. You anticipate things happening. You know that things happen before they happen. Very, very psychic, okay? Whoever I'm talking to right now knows what they're talking about, knows knows, you know things. Now, through sacred symbols, geometric shapes for sure, because it's Archangel Raziel here. But you're answering the call to something. And we're going to see what the tarot has to say, because there's definitely you knowing that you have the power and the passion to answer the call. So for the rest of the month, there's a big thing that you're manifesting that has to do with either life path, life purpose, okay? Now that can obviously change. I tell everybody that. I know that everybody gets, or not everybody, but a lot of people get stuck on the whole life path, life purpose, and they're like, that's it, that's my path, that's never going to change, that's what I want to do. I should have done a long time ago. But we are naturally evolving being, okay? We change all the time. So I'm not really a firm believer in that. I think that you can have a life purpose or a life passion 10 years ago, and it might not be the same thing that you want today, right? But right now in this moment, there's something that you feel like is your life path or your life purpose that you are deciding to make, I don't know, make it bigger, expand on it, make it more stable, more secure. You're following a passion, okay? And you're manifesting a passion. That could be the love partnership. Maybe it's not romantic. Maybe it has to do with how you create financial stability and security through a passion. Absolutely, because it is Venus. And maybe it's a love of a job, right? That you don't want to call. I'm getting like this whole, I don't even want to call it a job because it feels so good and it feels so easy that it's more of a passion. So if you haven't done that already, basically Spirit is saying maybe you should, yes, right? Yes. But you already know what this yes is about. There's something that you're asking about what's going to happen for the rest of the month. Yes. Obviously pay attention to the dreams. I have 3 cards that talk to me about dreams, dream journaling, dream interpretation. Again, you could literally be having prophetic dreams, but there's another message here also. I think, first of all, number 14. Number 14 is a big number. Don't know why. I don't know if you, I don't know if that's good. That could be, I mean, reduced down to a 5. Maybe it's a 5-year plan. Maybe the 5th month. Maybe you're planning something now all the way till May. Maybe you're born on the 14th. Maybe you're a life path number 5. But 14, big number. But anyway, riding the wave and passion for me, that combination also speaks to knowing how to process emotions, knowing how to let go, knowing that if you want to cry, you can cry, right? Knowing that if you want to get angry, you can get angry. It's not about being self-destructive, right? Or destructive in nature, because there is a strong power that comes from you. Again, it's not intimidating. It's just assertive. That's a better word. So again, this feels very like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, maybe even Scorpio. This assertive energy that kind of shines out, and it feels like you, maybe even Capricorn. Okay, I'm getting a lot. It feels like you know what you need to do spiritually for the rest of the month. You know that it's a big yes. You know you have this understanding on a deep level of what it means to follow your passion, follow your dreams, follow your power, right? And then you're creating it. So if you're creating that, that's why this card is coming up, because that might rock the boat somewhere for the rest of the month. Okay, it might be a problem for somebody else. It might start a disagreement. I don't think it doesn't feel like 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords kind of energy. It feels like 5 of Wands. You know, it irks somebody in the wrong way. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Stay centered. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. Just stay in your own center. Stay grounded. Don't feed into any drama. Don't accept any drama. Just let them do what they need to do. Okay? Good news is coming in for this month. Maybe suddenly, maybe unexpectedly. 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. So the spiritual understanding, I think, is coming in because you're understanding why at a certain period recently you've had to sacrifice, or you've had to not have enough somewhere. You've had to accept lack in order to accept abundance. Maybe you've been alone, or you've been feeling lonely. Maybe you felt detached or ostracized. Sorry, I just hit the mic. But now you're understanding This Tower, I feel like, is this spiritual understanding. It's almost like epiphany moments. You're going to have aha moments. But you're definitely manifesting a sudden move, a sudden change in direction. You've been closed off to it. Maybe you've been in denial. Maybe you've had a hard time seeing it. But it's like you already knew because you have such a strong intuition, a strong prophetic sense that you already knew this was going to happen. But you do have good news coming in, which I love, that allows you how can I say this, a much more stable, a much more controlled environment, right? A controlled sense of change of direction, because something's doing a 180 in your life. So you're completely changing direction in something for the rest of the month. And you're needing to open up your heart space and accept that. You're needing to make the decision. You're making a big decision. And it might involve the restructuring or some kind of big adjustment in your life that you'd have to get comfortable with, even though it might not seem comfortable at first. I also think this is kind of like the whole falling down from the top. Again, Capricorn, almost like a lonely at the top. Maybe you have South Node in Capricorn, or maybe you have a Capricorn moon. But this feels like you had to suffer the top, and you had to fall from the top, and it taught you a lot, and now you understand what true power means, what true love means, what true passion means, and you're not willing to let that die. You're not willing to let that, you're refusing to stop following your passion. Do you get what I'm saying? You're refusing to stop following your dreams, and that's a beautiful thing because it allows you more control again over where you're going. So, all right. Again, if you'd like a personal reading, the website is linked in the description box. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next reading. Okay, pile 3, you guys chose the cats. So let's see what's coming up for the rest of the month for you. Creativity, love that. Slow and steady, also love that. Healing the earth, love, humility, and respect. Third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. Overcoming difficulties, Archangel Jeremiel. The worst is now behind you and you're surmounting any previous challenges. Perseverance, I mean, those two cards together literally mean the same thing. Surrender, procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Volcanoes. And the last one is get more information, which for me is more of a no, not yet kind of a thing. So if you're trying to figure out if the rest of the month is a good period for you to do something, just get more information, right? Gather more resources, gather more tools, network a little bit more, connect with the right people. That's what that card is about. Something has literally blown up recently or is about to blow up, but you will get through it. Basically, that's what the cards are saying, okay? And I know that that's very vague and that doesn't provide enough guidance for you, but you already understand perseverance. I don't need to explain that to you. Unfortunately, you're best friends with perseverance. This isn't the first time that you've dealt with this or dealt with tough situations. That's why, I'm going to be honest, you're here as a grid worker, okay? You're here as a light worker. You're here to kind of anchor in the light, and that is why you're always pushed by the dark, because there's that duality there, right? So if you're here to heal the earth, then you're here to be a guiding light for people. You have a very, very open, clear, and healthy third eye. So that's where you can get your more information if that's the case. Whatever it is that you're creating for the rest of the month, because you are creating something, it's going to take time. So while it won't manifest right now for the rest of the month, because it will require your effort, your assistance, your time, and your energy for the rest of the month in order to manifest, okay? There's something that you've been holding off for some time, possibly with this procrastination card. It's no longer time to hold off on it. Maybe you took the time during Mercury retrograde, which it will be going direct on the 20th. Maybe you needed some time to kind of deal with that, and then you're waiting for that to go. Or maybe you're waiting for Jupiter direct. I don't know. There's definitely an energy here of you kind of holding off on something because you didn't think it was the right time, and that's great. That's awesome. You were following your third eye intuition, but now is the time to Get off the horse and start walking, kind of thing. Or maybe get back on the horse. Maybe you already got off the horse, now you're going to get back on the horse. Just, you don't need to rush through it. You don't need to speed through it. You're not Speedy Gonzalez. You can go slow and steady, okay? You can take your time with it. Again, so it's not so much that something is manifesting for the rest of the month. It's about getting through something that you're manifesting, still working on a manifestation, still getting off the threshold, not stopping yourself as you do it, making sure that you are working through any trials, any tribulations, any difficulties, any challenges, okay? Again, this isn't the first rodeo. I feel like this isn't the first time that you've dealt with this. You understand now how to get through it. You understand what not to do. That's what it taught you, right? You understand what won't work. You understand what might fail. So now you know how to do it. You know what won't fail. And you know how to handle it emotionally and mentally as well. So this could be a creative project, a creative pursuit with that creativity card. But it is the web weaver in there, right? That's a spider. So you're working with a spider spirit animal for the rest of the month. I'm definitely seeing that. And the snail, obviously. Both of those creatures take their time. A spider takes its time creating the web, right? And it sits. Sometimes it will stay on that web for a whole week, 2 weeks before it can get dinner, right? And it patiently waits. So for the rest of the month is about you continuing to weave that web and patiently waiting for the right opportunity to go. But you can't procrastinate and just sit and stare at the space that you know you want to create the web and then stare at it and do nothing. You have to start creating the web in order to get the abundance. All right. Really, the spider is very, very strong in your reading right now, the spider spirit animal. So look into that because you... And I know that sometimes, like, thinking about a spider is like, oh, well, it's injecting venom and then sucking the blood out of something, which seems like violent or chaotic or, you know, just grotesque. But it's not, okay? I'm saying, like, look at it in a spiritual, symbolic way. In order to get that food that you need, because you need it for nourishment, so it's something that you need, I feel like, or it's something that you know you deserve, you have to prepare the web. You have to start taking the steps to do that. So for the rest of the month, it's about preparing, but not staying so far back on the, you know, not staying, how else can I say this? I don't even know anything about baseball, but for some reason they're showing me baseball, okay? You're in the little, you're on the bench. You're on the bench and the coach is trying to put you in on the field and you're refusing to go on the field, okay? You have a clear sight. So when you experience some challenges, trials, tribulations, and difficulties for the rest of the month, you know how to get through it. Just connect to that third eye. That third eye will let you know exactly what to do and how to process it. Okay? You do have a way out, a way through. You do have a resolution. You do have an answer. You just have to tap into that third eye. Through love, humility, and respect. I actually, excuse me, I love that because leading the rest of the month with that will help bring this manifestation in. Love, humility, and respect. Respect for life, respect for yourself, respect for others, love for life, love for others, love for yourself, right? And humility for life, for love, and for yourself. Or humility for others. It's funny that I said that, but you get what I'm saying. Ooh, Five of Swords. That's the complete opposite of love, humility, and respect. Okay, this is dry wit. This is sarcasm. This is someone being cold, detached, calculated, manipulative. They're not good vibes. So I don't know if that's you or someone else you're dealing with. You got Aries there, so maybe it's about manifesting something for Aries season. Interesting combination. This feels like love because you've got the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So I don't know if it's a love offer. One, it's the love of self. This is Aries energy. Love of you. Love of your body. Love of your dreams. Love of your passion. Love of your creativity. Love of the action that you take. Love of your drive, your motivation. Aries, right? What it is that you're about to start. Love of the start. Because it's Aries, the beginning, the alpha, okay? So And I mean, I know technically the Lover's card is Gemini, but I'm not feeling that. I'm really getting this heavy Aries energy, but it could be that it leads into Aries season for the rest of the month, right? So I kind of held my breath there. Yeah, hold tight. Things are about to skyrocket for you, Pile 3. They really are. This is the overcoming difficulties. This is the challenges. This is the obstacles. It's a relationship, a person specifically maybe, or a group of people that might not give you the proper love, humility, and respect, and you're needing to ask yourself, okay, well, do I cut that out? Because you're trying to slowly get something into manifestation. Volcanoes with that, this could be a rough fight, a rough argument that leads to words that were said that weren't meant to be said, because at the base of it, there is love there. You could have wanted to choose Pile 2. I would definitely suggest watching that if you did. But self-love, self-respect, okay? Huge theme for the rest of the month. Self-love, self-respect. Self-worth, self-value. Value yourself, value your peace over anything. Choose peace. Okay? For the rest of the month, you need to choose peace because there's something about to erupt. Again, I'm definitely getting that with the Volcanoes card. Turn your back on it. All right? And not in a way that says you're going to ignore it, but in a way that says, I refuse to engage in that. There is a relationship that can make it through, slow and steady, but it can make it through. Maybe you've been procrastinating giving an offer or receiving an offer when it comes to a relationship. Maybe it's the time to do that. Get more information and perseverance with this. It's almost like just talk things out, communicate properly. That needs to happen because there's a lot of arguing, disagreements, miscommunication. There's also the message here, if it has nothing to do with a relationship, where self-love comes from the love of the heart. I feel like right now for you, it's matters of the heart, following your heart. What does your heart want? Make a decision from your heart space. That's why the Lovers is there. The Lovers was originally called the decision, the choice. So and if you look at the backstory, I don't know why I need to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this, okay? If you look at the backstory of the Lovers card, there's usually 3 people because someone needs to choose between 2 people that they love deeply. I don't know. That could be a thing, okay, for one person watching. But symbolically, it's needing to choose between 2 things that you love, needing to choose between 2 paths, and I'm seeing that for you. And doing it in a way that's, I guess, moral or righteous, right? And following a path of humility, not doing it in a way that doesn't suit you. Let me say it that way, okay? Do it in a way that's powerful and assertive, not angry and intimidating. Because I almost want to put this Emperor in reverse as the kind of energy that you're following the divine masculine, not the distorted masculine within, okay? All right, Pile 3. Again, if you'd like a personal reading, you can go ahead and book it. The description is in the description. The link is in the description box. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next reading.